If I had to pick a favorite time of the year for planting, it would be fall. Spring is probably my favorite time in the garden overall, but fall is my favorite time for planting, dividing, transplanting my perennials. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is in Zone 8B in southeastern North Carolina. If you know me, you know how much I love perennials. I love especially the perennials that get bigger, you can divide up and move things around in your yard. This is how I expand my landscape so greatly, and doing that on a budget. So right now, I'm going to take you from my gorgeous rock garden that I recently transformed and got beautified for fall out into my island of misfit toys. And that's not just a clever name. I mean, it is a clever name, but it's appropriate because it's literally like that piece of your land that you rarely go to. You're not there caring for things, checking on things, so it becomes a very self-sufficient piece of the property. So right now, I want to do some sprucing up and beautifying of it because it happens to be outside my fence line, which means people that drive or walk down that road are always seeing it. It's overgrown and changes need to be made. Not to mention the fact that I have so many other perennials or plants that have been given to me that are just sitting in pots that have been waiting to get into the ground. So here we are, it is officially fall, which means it is time to get my butt in gear and get those plantings done. I'd like to share with you a bit of drone footage just so you can get the lay of the land and understand exactly where my island of misfit toys is. So it does technically attach to my peninsula garden, but it is all on the outside of the fence line. And basically I have this whole little sloped part of land that goes down into my drainage swale that basically is the middle point between my fence line and the road. So the whole area from swale to fence line, I want planted up because it is a pain in the butt to mow. The slope is severe enough that the lawnmower has issues staying at a slant and not basically, you know, taking a little nosedive right into the swale because the ground stays wet. All that great stuff. So what I love to do is divide up my perennials. Again, I use them as free plants and put them into other parts of my landscape. That is what this area has been made of. Between that and garden sharing, that's been everything. So I would like to show you what I have here already and then all the new goodies, shared goodies that I want to put into the landscape. So some of the things I have in here are like these 3 azalea bushes. They came from my neighbor. My neighbor didn't love the fact that they bloomed red. I don't mind that at all. The thing that was interesting to me is the azaleas that I have in my backyard are spring bloomers, so I didn't realize these guys were going to be fall bloomers or end of summer bloomers. So I have these 3 red guys here. I have no idea what variety they are. I am assuming they are going to get bigger, so I don't want to be moving these out of the way. And another thing I have is right here, this drift rose bush. Now this is something I took out of my backyard in a spot where no one was ever going to see it, and I actually divided it up into 3 pieces. Well, I say that because I planted that one there, and then I have 2 more pieces of it in these 2 pots, and I never found a home for them. So I have 2 more pieces of drift rose that need to get put into the ground. Something else I have is this crepe myrtle baby. So this was a volunteer that came into my yard from one of my other crepe myrtles. So I have literally no idea what color it will bloom, and that's absolutely fine. It looks really cool. It's got a nice shape to it already. So I love that. But of course, it's not an evergreen tree. So that's something that's in my mind. I have these 2 agave plants. They came from somebody else's yard as well, so this was a garden share thing. Now this is perennial here. It also, you know, creates little pups that can be divided and moved around, so great. This is like something that's awesome. That I have as an option to put somewhere. And then I have this plant. It's a flowering plant. It flowers a vibrant red in the summer, and it has like flattish leaves. The thing is, I have no idea what kind of plant this is. I got this for my sister over the summer, and I know it's like shame on me for not getting it in the ground from the summertime. I've probably had it 2 months or so. But when I took it from her house, it was blazing hot. So that's when it was like in the hundreds every day. And I didn't want the plant to suffer too much. This is just the pot it's in. This is not the plant itself. So I want to put that in the ground somewhere, and I think that will also get bigger. So these are some of the little random items that I have. So I have to admit that since I'm using free plants, transplants mostly, I don't really have a full-on garden plan or design in mind when I come out here. The biggest thing really that I've thought about is trying to put things that are taller along the fence area and things that are shorter along the front. And now I'm also trying to get some more ground cover for the front part, and I'm hoping that that will stay okay even though we're sloped and we have like erosion issues and things like that. So tall to the back, short to the front, that's kind of it. Now that I'm thinking about how to kind of beautify and spice up this area even more, I thought, well, I could probably use some evergreen trees along the fence line, and that would be pretty cool, and then go from there. Let me show you what I have in mind for that. So let's get back into talking about evergreens. So the thing with evergreens is I love them, don't get me wrong. I want evergreen interest. I want things to look gorgeous in the winter time, but I didn't really want to spend the money because, again, I'm trying to garden on a budget this year. I'm trying to expand my landscape, but not spend a whole lot of money doing it. And getting people to garden share evergreens is like, what? No one's going to share a tree or something with you. I shouldn't say no one, but you understand. So here's a really interesting thing. I have this tree right here and I have no idea what it is. It's, I guess, a weed of some kind. It looks kind of like a holly, I don't know. But I've had some great success in my yard keeping some things that have popped in here like weeds and have actually turned into beautiful trees. If you're familiar with the corner of my poolside garden, that is a wonderful example. So I'm thinking I'm going to take this guy out, and I have a couple more that look really similar, and I'm going to use those as evergreen interest and really hope they're a kind of holly and they don't lose their leaves. But they're free. We're going to test them out. Ooh, and they have the height that I want. They're free, they have good height. We're going to test them out. This baby right here is a second example of something that has a similar look, so I'm going to try for this one. And then this one here is a third one. So if it's the same kind of weed turned tree that I planted next to my pool, then it's the Eastern Baccharis. If that's not what it is, then I have no idea what it is, but it's still going to go outside my fence line. So after I've looked at the size of the three evergreens or hollies or whatever they are, I can't fit 3 from my azaleas to where the fence door opens, because if I want to keep the gate open all the way, I can only put 2 of those evergreens there. So what I'm considering is moving one of the azaleas forward and putting one of the evergreen holly things here, and then 2 on this side, and that's still going to be tall things to the back, and then we can start moving forward. It was supposed to be a cloudy day today, so I thought it was going to be much easier, but it's very hot. So I got my azalea moved and my weedy tree thing moved. I think I might just move this lemon coral sedum into the front of the azalea and see if we can't get that going down the hill. And I actually always have a plentiful amount of lemon coral sedum, so I think I might try to grab some more from a little spot I have it where it's not necessary and move that out here as well. Drink time, and we are not even close to being done. So if we head just to the right of all the things I was just planting there, let me talk to you about seed planting fails. So I'm not a huge seed person. Again, I love perennials that I can divide and move up, and I like to even propagate things in different ways, but seeds, not the biggest fan of. Here's a great seed fail for you. I planted cosmos, as someone told me that is what it is. This was my cosmos. This humongous thing never got even one flower on it. So I have this huge bushy looking thing, which I thought was a weed until someone said, and never got any flowers. I also direct seeded zinnias in here, got nothing even popped up. So talk about dud packages of seeds, I guess. I tried those two things out here, and then bulbs. I tried allium bulbs, got nothing. The bulbs that were successful were daffodils and tulips, but tulips are not even perennial for me here because the ground doesn't get cool enough. So it's too much work to cool those in the refrigerator and all of that for like 2 months or whatever before using those. So I don't think I'm using seeds or probably many bulbs this year at all. So I got to cut this humongous thing and then kind of see the space that I'm left with, so then I know what I'm going to do with this area. So from all the way back here, that gross big, I want to just call the Cosmo a weed because it did nothing for me, is gone. Rose bush is now planted in its spot. So over here, I have some of the lemon coral sedum. I'm just going to pop that little bunch that I dug out by the azalea over to here because it looks kind of scraggly like this and colored like this. Whereas if I go grab a new healthy fresh piece out of the ground in the backyard, it's going to look different. So I'll add that old piece to over here, and then I got to start working on the edging going down the hill here. I am a huge fan of edging and straight lines, as we've talked about before. But I had gotten my edging down low here in front of these hostas, and I stayed up high over to here. And the reason was because I just didn't have enough plants to be taking everything down the hill. So be it, but now, even if I don't have the plants to fill it in, I do have to start working on extending my edging down the hill more so that I have a more consistent look as we go all the way down the fence line. So here I go, doing some edging, some weeding, and then I'll be able to fit in the new plants that I talked about having ready to go. My gosh, so the edging is going. That's a lot of work between getting rid of everything. The grass I'm putting into the drainage swale because quite frankly we keep getting that erosion issue and we need to build up anyway, and then I'm picking weeds along the way. Hello.
Hi.
You're hot and sweaty too.
Yes, yeah. I just finished mowing. All right, well, do you need me for anything right now?
No, it was nice to see you though.
Okay, nice to see you. I'm gonna go back to work.
Me too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, cranberry juice, I'm back to work. I know it's like super hard to see just how massive this flower bed is, but suffice to say, I am done edging for now because I'm tired of it. So it's time to plant a little bit more. So since I have my other two little hollies or whatever the heck they are, I'm gonna put them in the ground now, and then we'll see what happens next. Maybe the agave comes after that. We are having a moment of shade here, so I just wanna walk you through so we can see a little bit while the sun isn't blazing. So it turns out that I decided to just plant the one weedy plant tree there because where the gate opens up to and where the azalea was, I just didn't feel like it was enough space to have two in case it does get as big as the one by my pool. So that's what we have happening there. Then that's the other weedy tree plant and the azalea in front of it. And then what's happening here is, this is where I was trying to continue an edge and I was sopping wet. So my edge is not straight and I'd have to go back and fix that when things dried out more. But can you see like how huge this is? And this is just the area that I neatened up today. There's a lot more to this island of misfit toys out here. So these are the stones that I picked up from the edging. I'm not even sure if I'm putting them back there or not. So these are the plants that are in here right now. These are some canna lilies. More plants, more plants. My blue rock with a quote on it that I intend to redo and make it look beautiful again. And then this is all it till we get to that magnolia tree at the end right there. So of course I'm not touching any of that right now. It's decently neatened up and it's weeded already from before. So this rock needs to get beautified. All the color left it. And then as we turn back in this direction again, you can see how far of a distance all of that is. So the clouds are here now, but it actually looks like they're starting to come looking pretty dark. So I'm going to finish up my agaves over here and I might be calling it done for the day. This bed is clearly a work in progress. I've known it was going to take a lot of time, energy, and effort. The thing I didn't want it to take a lot of was the money. So that's why we are doing all the things we're doing here to make it look awesome, but on a budget. That's my favorite thing. So, holy, I am feeling tired. I am feeling sweaty and dirty, but I am also feeling like I've accomplished some good things today. And at the end of the day, having felt productive or been productive is one of my favorite things. Let's get this gorgeous baby planted and move on. So when you love gardening like we do, being productive, getting things done, helping your plants, and leaving your little portion of the earth more beautiful than the way you found it, that's what it's all about. So today, like I said, has been kind of a more sweaty day and dirty, more than I expected it to be, but I believe that I made my portion of the earth more beautiful than I found it. So I'm content and it's time to relax. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all so much. I love the sweet comments. I say that all the time, but it is true. I love it. It fills my heart up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so that it can ensure that YouTube knows that my videos should be sent to your feed. And until next time, happy planting.